What is up, everyone? Welcome back here to another Call of Dragons content. If you guys are gamers, subscribe to the channel. If you guys love gaming, subscribe to the channel, okay? My name is Shinchi42. We're not just making Call of Dragons videos, we're also gonna get into PC gaming. So if you are playing games like PC gaming as well, subscribe because we're gonna show them. But in today's video, we're going to talk about, for Call of Dragons, is when is it the right time for you to upgrade your T4 units? Or maybe you're gonna be upgrading your T1 to T4. T2 to T4, T3 to T4, or maybe you're going from T1 to T5, T2 to T5, T3 to T5, T4 to T5. So I'm going to break it down in here, my strategy to share to you guys. So again, my name is Shinchi42. If you like games, subscribe. Now, if you like this video that we're going to help you to succeed in Call of Dragons, smash like right now. So as you guys know, I've recently unlocked tier 5 in here. If you haven't seen my progress to unlock T5, you gotta watch that one because it's absolutely intense. We did a live stream and we made a shorter version of it as well. So the thing that many players are wondering is like, dude, do I upgrade my units when I have all these lower tier units? So let's go into my trend in here. This is my mage basically. So if you still have these T1 units, T2 and T3, there's a good time for you to upgrade your units. So now let's get into how should you be upgrading your units in Call of Dragons and when should you be upgrading this? All right, so basics to understand: T1, T2, T3, T4, all increments of 1 power each. So if you make a lot of T1s and you jump it up to T4, you're going to get 3 power per unit. If you're doing T2 to T4, you're getting 2 power per unit. T3 to T4, you're getting, as you guys know, 1 power per unit. So the best way to do this is to make a T2 and then jump it into T4. But here's the thing: if you're already T4 and you're still producing lower tier units, it's gonna be hard for you to fight in combat because you're not going to have a lot of fighting capabilities. So the best thing to do is to produce T4, at least 2 marches full of T4. And if you want to go lower tier, I would say go to a lower tier of T2, so that at least whenever you upgrade them, you're going to get 2 power per unit. So let me show you this. I'm going to speed this up in here. All right, I'm gonna speed this up my T5 for you guys so we can, do this video. All right, so let's speed this up. 60 minutes. Boom. Collect this one. So I want you guys to see, if you make 1 unit, let's just make 1 unit of T1. All right, let's collect that one as it's finished. And you're going to see the differences of the amount of resources as well per unit. All right, so T1, collect that one. And then let's make 1 of the T2 in here as well. So 21 seconds for 1 T2. So T1 was like 11 seconds, I think. And then you increase in here, just so you guys can have a good understanding on how much differences on each unit tiers will be. So once this is finished, let's collect that one. All right, relatively quick. Boom, there we go, collecting it. So now we can see if we make 1 T1 is 11 seconds, 1 T2 is 21 seconds, 1 T3 is 42 seconds, 1 T4 is 56 seconds, but 1 of the T5 is 1 minute and 24 seconds. So when it comes to resources, you can see we start from base cost of 60, then increase here to 100 on the wood. All right, and then increase 150, 300, and then 800. Significant boost in here. And also you can see the consumption of mana as well. In the early ones in here, the first 2, you don't have to worry about mana, and then when you get into T3, you're gonna worry about mana now. Now, you have this thing, this upgrade here. So you have to click this to upgrade. Now, if you unlock T5, you cannot upgrade your units to T4. Okay? It will only promote your tier of units to the highest tier that you have unlocked. So keep that in mind. So if you want to push for an event where you want to get T4 first, and then you can now increase your T4 to T5 in that manner, so you can try to win 2 events. So let's say you made a lot of T2, then you upgrade into T4, and then eventually later on, all these T4 that you made, you can now upgrade into T5. You're going to get a difference of 6 points in here per T4 to T5. So the great thing about upgrading is you're going to reduce the amount of resources that you need, and at the same time, the amount of speed ups that you're going to need to get, more points. When you just do straight up T5, you're going to get 10 points per unit, but it's costing you a lot. So if you're trying to conserve the resources and the speed ups and trying to get a maximum amount of points, then you want to upgrade your lower tier, because you're not going to be using these lower tiers anyway in the future. You want to upgrade them. And honestly, the best way to upgrade your units is through an event. So as you can see, we are participating in the Great Heights event. So in this Great Heights event, I will be, okay, upgrading my tier 4 units to tier 5 units. And then after that, I will produce more tier 5 units. So after I've upgraded all my tier 4, or maybe some of my tier 4, I will then produce more tier 5, because tier 5 will then give me 10 points per unit. Now, here's an important thing to indicate here for you guys. I know some of you guys might be excited to use the boost in here, or the Legion Reserves. Now, these Legion Reserves are not to be used. It's a common mistake that people do. If you guys do it, it's a mistake. These Legion boosts should never be used whenever you are trying to upgrade your units. Whatever it is, even if you're lazy, please do not use this. Now, these will be good whenever you're trying to make full, higher tier troops. So if you're going to be making a lot of tier 4, you haven't unlocked tier 5, you can use the Legion Reserves. But the purpose of the Legion Reserves is more for cooking time. So you want to use a Legion Reserve, and then you collect it after a certain amount of days, basically, and then you collect it on the same day of an event. Then you can just have an instant power boost. That's the main purpose of the Legion Reserves. But a lot of the whales will just use this because they want to power up fast, and they don't want to take the time on, clicking one by one and speeding up and using all the speed ups. So they use their Legion Reserves to make it faster. But really, the main purpose of the Legion Reserves is the cooking time, so that you won't having to use, a full speed up on that specific day. The Legion Reserves, like I said, please do not try to use this whenever you're trying to upgrade. All right, do not use that one. So I'm gonna click upgrade in here. As you can see, it's 1 minute and 14 seconds. You're not really getting any huge discount whenever you're doing this. It's just a difference between tier 1 to tier 4, or tier 1 to tier 5. You're still going to have the exact same amount of cost as if you are going to make tier 5. So let's say I made my tier 1 and then I have a tier 5. It's still going to be the exact same cost when I upgrade it. The only thing that you're getting a benefit in here is the slight reduction of time into converting into the amount of power. That's the only thing that you're getting from this. Like I said, the biggest tip that I have for you guys is to convert your tier 1 units, or tier 2 units, or tier 3 units, or tier 4 to tier 5. Is whenever there is a event, and specifically I would say it should be a power up event. If it's not a power up event and it's a minutes event, then you should be making tier 5 instead, not upgrading. If you are in a minute event, let's say the event says, oh, you need to consume certain amount of minutes to rank up of, training speed up, then you want to make full of the highest tier that you have. You should not be upgrading units on a minutes event. That is a no-no. because now you're consuming all these minutes into making a full T5, and then that's better. And then you upgrade whatever you have left later on into a power up event, because that is actually a better suited strategy in my opinion. So that's just pretty much the basics of this. Make sure that whenever you're making the upgrade or making units, that there is rune as well. Right now there is no rune because it's the middle of the day, right about reset. There's no rune right now for making troops. There's no troop training rune, but always get the troop training rune. And at the same time, if you are, spender, make sure to look into the VIP to where you can have ability to increase your legion training in here. For some reason, this thing is broke. As you can see, at level 14, you have 20% troop training speed. So that helps out a lot in the game. And by the way, if you guys are going to be gemming troops in here, just make sure that you have all the resources ready. Just so if you don't go speed gemming and you accidentally gem your resources as well. So make sure that you're only gemming for the speed ups, not for the resources. So that's some really good tips in here. Upgrading units is good, but you got to do it on an event. If you're just doing it every day, then it's not good. All right. You have to do it on an event to where you can maximize getting points, and then you can win something out of it. Get something out of the things whenever you're doing something in the game. Get the rewards. That is the biggest thing in the game, and it's going to make your account more powerful. So knowing these little tips and tricks is going to make you succeed in Call of Dragons. It takes years of kind of knowledge and practice as well, since I've been playing this type of game. So with that being said, I hope this video is helpful. If it is, smash like, and I'll see you again next time.